On to our other big story tonight. I know how dirty Donald is. She spent hours with him at my house. I've met many bad people, none as bad as Trump, not a decent cell in his body. These were the words of Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted sex offender who died, allegedly by suicide, in a jail in the United States in 2019. Washington is stunned. 23,000 secret documents have just gone public. Two names, Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. Revelations that could haunt America for years to come. It began with emails released by the Democrats on the Oversight Committee on Wednesday. The emails by Jeffrey Epstein, a convicted sex offender who rubbed shoulders with the rich and powerful, including the current US President, Donald Trump. The emails were sent to longtime Epstein associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, also convicted of sex trafficking, and author Michael Wolff. I want you to realize that that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. The victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. That's what Epstein wrote in one of his emails, which have now become public. In her reply, Maxwell writes, "I've been thinking about that." In a 2019 email to Wolff, Epstein asked the author, "If we were able to craft an answer for him, what do you think it should be?" To which Wolff replied, "I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the house, then that gives you valuable PR and political currency." The emails sent by Epstein also mentioned former US President Bill Clinton and UK's Prince Andrew, now stripped of his royal title. Clinton has acknowledged traveling on Epstein's private jet, but claimed that he had no knowledge of Epstein's crimes. The Jeffrey Epstein sex scandal centers on financier Jeffrey Epstein, who was accused of running an extensive sex trafficking operation that exploited underage girls. In other words, sexually abused or raped children over several years. Epstein used his wealth and connections to recruit and abuse minors, often luring them under the guise of offering them modeling opportunities or financial assistance. Many of his victims reported being coerced into performing sexual acts, both for Epstein and for many of his very powerful associates. In 2019, Epstein was arrested for the second time on federal charges of sex trafficking minors, but he was found dead in jail shortly afterwards, before his trial could take place. His death, described by authorities as suicide, fueled widespread speculation and conspiracy theories. Meanwhile, in response to the released emails, a seething and possibly panicked Donald Trump took to Truth Social and called the documents, as always, a Democratic hoax. He wrote, and I quote, "The Democrats are trying to bring up the Jeffrey Epstein hoax again because they'll do anything at all to deflect on how badly they've done on the shutdown and so many other subjects. Only a very bad or stupid Republican would fall into that trap. The Democrats cost our country $1.5 trillion with their recent antics of viciously closing our country, while at the same time putting many at risk, and they should pay a fair price. There should be no deflections to Epstein or anything else, and any Republicans involved should be focused only on opening up our country and fixing the massive damage caused by the Democrats."
These emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong. And what President Trump has always said is that he was from Palm Beach, and so was Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was a member at Mar-a-Lago until President Trump kicked him out because Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile and he was a creep. And this email you refer to with the name of a victim that was unredacted now and has since been reported on in this room, so I will go ahead and say it, Virginia Giuffre. And it was CBS's own reporting, Ouija, that recently wrote that Miss Giuffre maintained, and God rest her soul, that she maintained that there was nothing inappropriate she ever witnessed, that President Trump was always extremely professional and friendly to her.
But the Democrats are in no mood to let the opportunities slip away. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says he is worried that Trump could go to extremes to distract from the Epstein files row.
My great fear, of course, is that with the release of that information, which I think will be devastating for Trump, that he's going to do everything in his power to distract. And what does that mean? I mean, he might take us to war with Venezuela just to get a distraction in the news and take it out of the headlines. Or, we've seen him do a lot of other things. And of course, the immigration raids and how frankly disgusting they've been might be another way that he's doing it.
Republicans are running a pedophile protection program. They are intentionally hiding the Jeffrey Epstein files, but those days are over, because as soon as Representative-elect Alalita Grijalva becomes Congresswoman Grijalva, her first act, as she's indicated, is going to be to sign that discharge petition. It's going to force a vote on the House floor, and the American people are going to get the transparency that they deserve.
The Epstein files raise one haunting question. Could this be Trump's Watergate moment? Can Donald Trump, who has so far survived 2 impeachments, multiple criminal cases, and 2 assassination attempts, survive the Epstein scandal?